I'm Cindy Vogels and I'm predominantly a costume designer in the music industry.
As an artist, like a lot of us feel like we need to like make it. Like there's this word where it's like we made it in the industry. What do you think like the reality of that is? It's hard to break it down. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I think that you feel what I felt. That's such a hard question.
It is. The way I sort of like look at it is like, like making it being like sort of it isn't all like the bells and whistles in a way, like, because there could be someone who is like super low key, but they go and they turn up to set every day and they do an amazing job. So it's like those sort of,
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So I think the way that I would have felt when there's been that really, really strong circuitous shift is when you realize that you're working with people continually.
Yes.
So rather than just getting like one job with someone and then a new job with someone and then a new job with someone, I think it's when you start creating those really long-lasting relationships, and you realize that there's like more than 40 of them and that there are all these amazing people that keep calling you back and keep engaging you and keep wanting to work with you. So that again, it's not so much it's not like how it looks from the outside, it's also how it feels again from the inside. That just that you are building really solid relationships and people enjoy working with you and they check in on you and you really start to feel that you're part of like a really beautiful, solid, ethical, creative family.
That's lovely.
That was a really hard question to answer, but I got there.
Perfect, beautiful answer. And I had some questions about like collaborating and stuff, and it was like, how do you navigate your collaborations? Like,
so I find like testing the water with, if it's someone new, like just test the water first. And I think that like I'm always wanting to work with new young people because I love like anyone younger than me, I love learning from them. So that reverse mentorship. So I think that's really important, and it's a really great way for me to impart like what I know on the younger generation, but also to keep my work current because I'm informed by their new ways of doing things and the things that excite them and the work that they're doing. I never listen to old music. I always listen to brand new music.
Stuff.
Yeah, I love that. It's invigorating and it's exciting. And so I think the only thing that is tricky in that is that the younger ones, they might be like bursting with talent and have a great project in mind, but they might not be financial enough yet.
Yes.
So a really handy tip is that I just connect them immediately with like a great grant writer, or even just send them like really great information on, grants or what's going on for them, so that they can access that,
get money,
and they can
resources,
get money and then pay their teams and level up quicker.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, oh, you can't afford to work with me.
You give them that positive.
Yeah, I say, you should speak to this person and try and win this money because it's there for you. And please, like if you don't win it, call me and we'll try another way.
Yeah.
But I really try to do that. For the first 4 years after my Gaga moment, I actually had a business model where it was actually like 50% of every artist that I worked with was a sponsorship. And because I myself was not in a great space with figuring out the grant thing. And so I literally was running my business as a funding model and just gifting and sponsoring young music artists so that they could work with me and they could have the outcomes that they were dreaming of, and I could be contributing to their career careers. And
Wow.
so that was a thing. But now I've replaced that with just helping them to win grants, which is good for me and good for them.
Well, is that how you feel you build and support the community around you?
Yeah, definitely. It's so gratifying. I mean, I sat right here with Crybaby in January, and there was a whole team of us, and we had figured out via various grants how we would support her, because we believed in her, and we saw so much talent, and there was a bunch of us who just, we were in awe of her talent and wanted to see her rise up.
Wow.
So and that's like such a beautiful experience, and everyone wins out of that.
They do, well, because it's a collaborative effort. We all come together. Like, if you're winning grants, then that means that everybody's sort of going to get fed from it too. Yeah, it's definitely like the way to go, instead of like sort of shunning them or being like, oh, you can't work with me. Like, that's a much nicer way to go about it. I actually had a question as well. If you've ever had a moment where your accomplishments have made it harder for you to get booked, or whether your recognition has just made it
Absolutely.
easier. Yeah.
I was actually on the, can I say a swear word? No, probably not. I was on the bones of my ass when Lady Gaga reached out to me. My marriage of 18 years had just nosedived. Seriously, I had 4 children, and I was absolutely like destitute, and I'd just been assigned a social worker at Centrelink. I was crying all the time, and then the Gaga moment happened, and it was the most surreal experience, because I was actually like sitting in the Centrelink office, like bawling my eyes out, waiting to speak to a social worker, and I was on the front page of the paper, like,
Wow.
And I was just sitting there just going, this is the reality of creative, of being a creative. Like, it doesn't always translate as this like immediate transaction.
Yes.
So what happens is that all of a sudden, and people were like saying to me in the street, oh my God, I was going to get you to make a hat, but obviously I can't afford it now. And it was like,
no, you can.
Oh my God.
Just please message me. Like,
I'll make you a hat for $50 right now.
Out of these sticks.
So that was probably, and it really does go to show that you can be having the biggest win of your entire life, but be, the hardest situation is also happening,
Wow.
and I've come to realize that is just life, and you just have to keep breathing and hold on for dear life, and trust that, if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, eventually you'll make your way out of it.
Totally.
And I did. Like, I worked so hard. I worked so hard to prove that I was worthy of that moment with her, and it was only when COVID hit and we all were given permission to actually stop that I went, okay, I'm just going to take a break.
It was quite nice to take a bit of a break.
It was it was like permission to just slow down. Yeah.
Because, as creators, our minds are always ticking, we're always moving. Like you said, we have like various streams of income and, things happening. So permission to slow down. I feel like that's a very positive way to look at COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. You answered my COVID-19 question. Yeah, personally, but how do you think it affected the industry as a whole?
It decimated music.
Tore it apart.
It's still so painful. Like every day, like 90% of my friends work in music in some way, shape, or form, and via my Facebook and my Instagram and my LinkedIn, it's really tricky, it's so sad. And I myself have, the thing that's changed for me is I'm getting more interest from the film industry.
I was going to ask you that.
Are,
they're blooming right now.
So I'm being written in as wardrobe and costume designer into several projects that are looking, you know, projects that have previously been spoken word are being turned into, you know, projection installations, and I'm being asked to look at wardrobe.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So it's new work in new space for me. I'm completely open to it, and I'm looking forward to the experience. And I've had heaps of requests for, you know, short film wardrobes, and really that's just, I guess, an extension of film clips, because in a film clip, it's the same. It's just a, you know, a longer format and probably more days of shooting.
Yes, definitely.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
so
but I really hope music
comes back.
I hope.
Oh, it's heartbreaking seeing all the festivals like cancelled like a day before. Like
yeah, it's really sad.
Because it's a lot of wasted energy, and I think that's the saddest bit, because it's like, you know, this isn't just nothing. This is like, people that we've been, you know, focusing on it for a really long time.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, I hope it can recover.
Me too.
But yeah, I think we're learning as well to navigate our creative skill set and be like more open, like you said, to different opportunities and different places. So, you know, maybe musicians, if they're not able to do live gigs at the moment, perhaps they could focus on trying to get their music in films. As you know,
well, I noticed there's heaps of funding to in the cabaret sector. So they're doing call outs at the moment for musicians, songwriters, vocalists, you know, screenwriters, like people who write. Anyone who thinks that they can, you know, kind of pivot into the cabaret space. So yeah, I think, you know, there's hopefully there'll be plenty of really interesting shifts, and we'll all find our feet in like by Christmas, maybe by, I don't know, is that,
when can we go overseas?
Yes.
A while away. Now, you were speaking briefly of like your sort of mental health moment when you're at Centrelink and stuff like that. So I feel like creatives are opening up more about like mental health, and in a positive way, just being like, look, we're not all heroes. Like, we all do have our own ups and downs. So how do you think that, you know, we can support this message further?
I just think that it's so cool that we're talking about it. I mean, I had the shittest mental health from probably 15 to 25, I reckon. Like, I would not want to relive that again. Like, it was really, I had a car accident somewhere in the middle of it. I had epilepsy, all sorts of things went terribly wrong for me. And but I never spoke to anybody about it. And
challenging.
Back then, you know, you didn't, you know, you just wrote really dark poems and wrote yourself off. Like, so it was
dark poems.
Oh yeah,
I did the same thing.
I have a book of very dark poems.
Same, sis. I'm like, what? I love that. Do you write anymore now, or is it more journaling? Or
No, but I do paint, and I love painting. I have always delved and done everything, and even like through the dark poetry phase, I was painting and drawing, and so yeah, I think I've always used art as self-therapy.
Totally.
And I highly recommend it because it is very good for us.
Perfect. So are you working on anything at the moment new?
Yes.
Ooh.
But because of the nature of the work that I do, I can't talk about my clients.
I love that.
But yeah, I have some really amazing projects in the works, and but at the moment, probably my most current work that's out is the photo shoots that I did here for Crybaby.
Yeah.
And so you can check out Crybaby's Best of Luck. That was filmed here, and it was shot by Bianca Hinton, who's an incredible young videographer from the Gold Coast, and she did the lyric video right here.
I love a good lyric video.
It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful.
We'll have to keep our eyes out then. And now the most important question for last. How do you think the Artbase is going to shape our creative industry?
I have very high hopes, because I think we've waited a long time for something like the Artbase.
Yes.
And I feel like there's so many other platforms that cater to you know, our corporates, and there's platforms that cater specifically to handmade craft, and you know, there's all these kind of platforms that look after certain groups. But for someone like myself who is a multifaceted creative but also offers services, there has never really been a place for me to live. And it seems almost ridiculous that I bought a Star Now, and you can wipe this, but I bought a Star Now membership at one point so that and I'm not an actor, I just tried to push everything in there and have this profile in the hope that someone would
pick you up and get you on a job.
Not a single job out of that, no way. So I think I ended up getting an extra part in a film, in a TV
commercial.
I was like, I'm a costume designer, and they were like, oh, you've got a great smile though, so do you want to be in this advertisement? I was like, what the hell?
Why not? Take your business cards on set. Oh, well, thank you so much. I feel like you answered all of our questions so wonderfully. Good. And it's been such a pleasure to get to know you better, Cindy.
Thank you so much.
Such an angel.
And thank you to, I can't believe how many people are here. It's very cool.
Our crew, BTS.
You're all very professional, and I think the Artbase is in fabulous hands.
Thank you, Cindy. Talked about our positives. What has been your biggest struggle in your artistry, or perhaps a crazy job that
probably my right dead foot.
Oh, right now? Shake it out.
I just have to do a stretch.
That's funny.
Like all of a sudden it's just like, I'm fucked. Yeah. I'm actually crippled. Don't ask me another question or I might faint.